Hey there, it's Andrew, and I do home tours that you might actually watch because you might actually want to buy these homes. Now, again, I am in Eastmark. If you don't know where Eastmark is, it is in East Mesa, close to like Gilbert and those places. That's if you're not part of Arizona yet, but you want to come here. I really recommend you do some research on Eastmark. It's like a small town. And if you have any questions, I have my phone number below, so feel free to call or text me anytime and I'll get your questions answered for you. But this is a gated home. So within $950,000, you're in the estates at Eastmark, which is a gated pocket inside Eastmark itself. And it's pretty cool. You'll find a little bit higher end builds, maybe some larger lots, larger square footage, and all those things. And this is a pretty good example of it. Now, I do think there's some pros to this home. I do honestly think there's a couple cons to this home, but we're gonna go through and walk it together. And you tell me, is it worth $950,000, or can you go across the road and find something else in Eastmark closer to a $700,000 price that might feel kind of similar? So let's walk through and look at it together. Now, this one's interesting because it gives me kind of like, I don't know if this is like crazy to say, but it's like cabin vibes. Now, guys, I get it, right? That's you're thinking like, okay, this guy is so Arizona because he just called this a cabin. It's because look around, right? All the homes are more modern, Spanish looking, very different from what this one looks like. So that's kind of why I chose it from an exterior perspective. But the inside, I think, is close to being really nice. Just close. Now, I think the flooring is right off the bat just one of my favorite, aspects of this home. The wall color is not bad, but I do just think it's like lacking natural light, or it's lacking decor. Obviously, it's lacking decor, but just this natural light, dark color, dark flooring makes this feel like a pretty dark area. I think you could spice it up a little bit for sure. But anyways, a little front office, library, whatever you want to call it, to begin with right here. And then off to the right off the main hallway, this is exactly where your kids will sleep. Perfect if you have two kids, maybe three, and two of them are really young and share a room. So double vanity for the kids, and they get their own bathroom, of course. Now, this is a little living room play area for your kids specifically, so they have their own spot, which is kind of cool. To be honest, very pointless space. I don't know why they did this, and I'm not sure what you're gonna do there, but you tell me, what would you do in a spot like that? The most I would think is like a desk for homework, or if you're a cool parent, like a bean bag or something. But when we come over here, you're gonna find these bedrooms, pretty good size. I mean, it's not like huge, it's not astronomical where you could fit, a king bed and be comfortable. I think it's definitely a kid's bedroom for sure. And same with the closet, nothing insane. And then obviously it's mirrored over here for the most part. Size wise, at least, it's exactly the same. So that's where the kids will stay. And then you come down this long hallway. We're back here again. Off to the left is your garage in here, and then washer and dryer there. Off to the right is another bathroom and a coat closet. So you have these kind of, built-in areas for, you could display like a vase or flowers, I guess, or something on there. And then over here, dining. And I've seen this before because I've actually spent a lot of time in this exact layout. My former boss owned the home in this exact layout, but it was a lot different. They had a lot of add-ons that made this feel a lot nicer, to be honest with you, than what this one feels like. And that's why I'm able to kind of point out the differences. None of this built-in was there. It was all open. It was more pillars. It wasn't like walls like this, because this feels old, right? This home is not old enough for it to feel like it's old. I think that needs to be knocked down. But I've seen this turned into a library before, and is absolutely a gorgeous area. And then you come out here, it's nice to have that travertine finished off for a nice little seating area. Dining here, and then when you walk in, now this is nice. Okay, I can appreciate this layout because kitchen flows nicely into living room, and then dining off to the side. Now you do have two. I mean, I guess that could be a little bit more informal and then more formal over here for sure. Now, I will say also one zonk that I have for this home is just all the different colored lights. I like yellow lights. I hate white lights, so I don't even turn them on. And if at least just don't have both, but you could change that. That's just light bulbs. Now, this extra, storage, kind of like a pantry area for you here, and then nice massive island, beautiful sink. I think everybody and their mother wants a sink like this. One thing I do again appreciate about this room is these big sliding glass doors. It feels really open and airy on this side of the home. Again, not much over there. That's a con to me, is just how dark that feels. Also might feel like a waste of space. I don't know if you need this massive hallway, but what are you gonna do? And then over here, primary bedroom. So this is pretty cool. I do like the way that this is laid out with the his and hers. And then you do also get a bathtub and shower. And the shower is really large, enclosed with glass. It's really nice. Now this is a huge closet, which honestly, I don't even have nearly enough clothes to fit in there. And then thrown here. But I mean, I guess that is the closet for both people in the home. So, and then nothing crazy here, to be honest with you. It does not wow me, no wow factor. It's just a nice bedroom. Sometimes I feel like maybe, am I spoiled? Like, am I spoiled? Because this is a nice home. Don't get me wrong. I'm just being honest, right? Because I see a lot of nice homes on a daily basis. And then within Eastmark too, like I said, I know this layout and I know what it can be. This is kind of the dumbed down version of it. For $950,000, again, you tell me if you think it's worth it. I don't know. I think you might be able to find an option that brings you a little bit more of a luxury feel for that price. In Eastmark, maybe not in Eastmark, but anyways, it's nothing bad. I definitely don't mean to say anything negative about the home. There's a lot of pros to it. Now this is a big pro, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, something with Eastmark, especially when you're in the estates, is you're gonna find the opportunity to not have any homes behind you. There's not a ton of those opportunities. That's where this home does have a big leg up, is this exactly. Now, do I love the fact that it's this fence? Maybe I would want a little bit more of a privacy fence or shrubbery to go a little higher. Yeah, maybe that is true, but I think it feels nice, to have this space. You do have a 2-story next to you, which can be kind of a con, but if you don't care about it, then I guess it's not that big of a deal to you. And a really fun, cool pool layout here with your sunbathing deck, and then flows right into the rest of the pool. It's a good size, not too big, not too small. I like the fireplace, I like the turf, and I like the stepping stones. Just a nice modern look. And an outdoor kitchen. Nothing too crazy, but it does the trick. Now, again, I do like this home. I think with like the right decor for starters, maybe the right modifications, and taking out some of these walls that you typically wouldn't see in a newer home. I think if you took that out, opened it up, maybe changed the lighting. I'll add this too, not to ramble. I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm gonna. In the home that I saw with this layout, there was recessed lighting they did like a crown molding right there on the inside, and then did recessed lighting all the way through. That was done after the fact. That was not the builder that did that, but it looked so good, and it made this hallway just like light up like crazy. And so I would probably do that, but it's a pretty good example of what Eastmark has to offer. Again, there's so much. So I put my number below in the description. Give me a call, shoot me a text, and there's more to come, and we're gonna explore all of Arizona so you can see what is out there on the market without actually having to leave your couch. Thank you again, and I'll talk to you later.